Hello everyone, it's Moonkin FTW here, back with another episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge. And in this episode, we are tackling the mini flying coaster, and it's a pretty simple and pretty how do you say, limited type of roller coaster, because there's almost, you can see it in the special track pieces to the left, or excuse me, to the right of the coaster building menu, is that there's almost nothing there. You got S-bends and that's it. So I'm really gonna have to rely on some interesting concepts when it comes to the theming, and I have something in mind here. So what I have in mind is it starts up with a chain lift, and it goes into a couple of turns and this and that. Then it goes into a second chain lift, and then you have the bigger drop of the two, which is relative because you can't make huge drops. And I kind of fly, and then you fly over this lake, which I imagine if you're actually riding this with like one of those, suspended carts, is actually pretty cool. So that's the idea of the roller coaster. Again, it's going to be pretty basic, but there's not much to do with this type of roller coaster. It's very simple, very like I said, very basic, very limited in terms of track design. So we're just going to go ahead and save this real quick. And what I'm going to do now is do some foliage here and some terrain. So the idea is with this second kind of lift hill is that when you're riding it, the POV, you go into the second lift hill, and then you can't quite see what's ahead yet. And then when you turn around that corner, you drop down and you say, "Oh my God, I'm about to drop into a lake or something." Like, I want to have kind of that experience, if you will. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we'll see that when we check out the POV. So for now, I'm going to go with a simple color scheme. So I'm going to go with green track and black supports. And I'm going to use Moby Steel Jungle again, because I think if I just stick to some very basic supports, which, this roller coaster doesn't need a whole lot of intricate supports, I think that I can, I don't know how you say it, like I can get away with this basically. So I'm just going ahead and post this all over the ride. So I'm going to go over every single piece and make sure it's all supported, if you will. And again, it's all, I can use this pretty basic support structure because there's not a whole lot of G's involved. There's no inversions, there's no corkscrews or cobra rolls or anything like that. I'm going to adjust the terrain a little bit to avoid those pieces where you have like that blocky texture, if you will. I'm not sure how to call it, but I think you guys know what I mean. And the supports are pretty simple, but I'm going to have to make a diagonal version of this. So I'm just going to make two of these by hand, if you will. And there we go. That's pretty simple. Just going to add some knuckles and some flanges. And that will be it for the support structure of this suspended coaster, this mini flying coaster. And we're just going to go ahead and place the station. Now for the station, I had kind of the same theme in mind that I had with the log flume, which is kind of this like Yosemite National Park setting, which is also kind of what I'm doing here in terms of the surroundings. And you see that coming alive here as well. So I'm going to add some foliage here, some nice trees. Nothing crazy, because again, like I said a couple of times before, I want these designs to take a decent amount of time, but not, a ridiculous amount of time, unless I have a really, a lot of inspiration. I've already jotted some ideas down for future roller coasters, and I'm hoping to, execute or, bring them to life in a future episode when it comes to that coaster type. But for now, we're just going to finish off the roller coaster here. And there's not much to it. I'm just going to go ahead and add some foliage. And of course, last but not least, I'm going to use these footers here to support the support beams, to make sure that all looks nice and realistic. So I'm just going to go over all of the supports that the ride has. And then we go up this chain lift here. And then of course down we go. And there we go. So that is done. And I believe the final thing that we do is maybe add a catwalk. I'm not sure. And I think that's pretty much it when it comes to this roller coaster type. It's very basic, and but it does the job quite well. I like the scenery. I like the layout. I really like this second drop that you go up higher and then you can't quite see what's coming up, and then you kind of go down this track and you can almost touch the lake. That's the idea. I think it's gonna look pretty cool in the POV. So without further ado, let's check it out. So here we go. I'm gonna go up the first chain lift. I actually forgot to add the catwalk here. I might do that later. For now, it's okay. Here we go into the first drop. And again, because this is a mini suspended coaster and there's very little options in terms of drops, I couldn't make a steep one, so it's all these like gentle height differences, if you will. Yeah, a little few bunny hops, or if you want to call them. You cannot call them airtime because you don't have airtime in a suspended roller coaster like you normally have on a regular roller coaster. So here we go onto the second lift hill. So yeah, you're kind of tucked away in between these hills, and then we go down into this big lake. Oh yeah, oh that's kind of cool. I like that. Nice, and we're just sailing along like on the edge of the water. That's really cool. I do like that. Trying to squeeze something out of this very basic and limited roller coaster, and I think it did a decent job. So there you go, guys. Not much to it. It's a simple design, but thank you very much for watching. As always, have yourself a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next episode of the RCT3 Coaster Challenge.